Welcome everyone for Smoothie Making with Gabriella. I just thought I'm going to check in for another live session, and I'm going to try something very different today. And I wanted to see if anybody wants to join me in this experiment. So right now I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to talk about and show you guys all the different ingredients and what is my plan for the today. So this is the machine I use, and I have some alkaline mineral water in there already, and I have about 10 pods of cardamom, the green cardamom seeds, and I have one lemon in there so far. And this machine takes about 8 cups, and right now I have about 5 cups of water in here, and I have some extra water in case if it's needed. So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to add some carrots. So we just have, hi Eric, thank you for joining. So I just have water, lemon, and some cardamom seeds. I used alkaline water in this smoothie. And I have 2 carrots that I kind of cut up. So we are going to add the carrots next. And this is an experiment. I never did anything with fermented fruit before. And this is the first time actually I made fermented food, and I really liked the fermented apples. And these apples are from my own garden. And I also have some pears in here, and these pears are been soaking in some blackberry syrup. And I also going to add this unique ingredient, which is mountain ash or rowan berry. And I'm cooked the rowan berry down with some apples. And I'm going to add something to this smoothie because it's really good health benefits. And I'm going to add some flaxseed and a touch of protein powder and some microgreens as well. So we just have the carrots, the cardamom, the water, and 1 lemon in there so far. So I think right now I'm going to add the micro arugula greens. And this is I'm going to just add about 1 ounce of the microgreens to this smoothie because they have a lot of amazing health benefits. Normally I have more greens in a smoothie, but today we are going to do an experiment and we're just going to do less greens and more fruits. But I think it's going to work out okay because half of the fruit that we are going to add is going to be fermented. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to drain my fermented fruit. So I'm just getting the pot. And these are my fermented apples. So I'm just going to drain them. So take out the spices. I have star anise in here, and I have some cloves. And I remove those. And right now we are going to add the fermented apples into our smoothie mix. Oh, looks like I missed some of the spices. So we're going to remove those. So thank you so much for joining Higini as well. So far we have fermented apples in here that were fermented together in salt water with some anise and cloves. So I just drained those and added, we have 2 carrots, we have about 1 ounce of microgreens, 1 lemon, and 10 pieces of the cardamom seeds in here. And right now, next, what we are going to add, I made some of these Asian pears, and they've been soaking together in a little gentle syrup with blackberries. So I'm going to get rid of this salt water, and I'm going to grain these guys and add them to the smoothie. And they're really fun because they turned red, right? So I'm very excited about them. I think I will probably add maybe half of this amount, and I leave some for eating. Because we don't want to add too much. So that was about like 5 Asian pears that I added, but they are smaller ones, so they are not like super big. And now comes the fun part, because we are going to add a few spoonful of flax seeds. Flax seeds have wonderful omega-3s and omega-6s that are really good for us. So I'm adding 3 spoonfuls. That's about a quarter cup. And now I'm going to add something that is pretty unique, at least for me, because this is the first year that I made mountain ash. And this is mountain ash with apple cooked together. With mountain ash, you want to freeze it first to get some of the elements that you don't want in it. And the mountain ash have wonderful properties that are anti-infective and helps with aging, helps with diabetes, helps with obesity, and they just also really high in C vitamin and multiple different vitamins. And this one barely have like just a touch of sugar in it, and it's already cooked down. So I think we are looking really good today, because I'm going to use this also as breakfast and lunch. I'm going to add just a few scoops of organic vanilla protein powder, which also already have probiotics in it. And I think we are just going to add a touch more alkaline water. Hi, Charles. Thank you for joining. We are making kind of a unique fermented smoothie. So if you just joined, let me tell you what's in this smoothie. I have 2 scoops of organic protein powder. I have about a quarter cup of flaxseed. I have just 2 little spoonful of rowan berry and apple mix that I cook down. And I have 1 full jar, about a liter jar of fermented apples that I made, that were fermented together in salt water with some cloves and anise seeds. And I have about 5 Asian pears. And this is how they look before I put them in. They were soaked in a syrup with blackberries, very light syrup. And both the apples and the Asian pears are harvested in our property, in our homestead. So right now, and I also have 10 cardamom pods and a lemon in there, and 2 medium-sized apples cut up. So that's everything that we have in this smoothie. And I'm very interested how this turns out. I like to experiment with new flavors, but this is going to be the first time ever that I made something that is going to be with fermented apples, which those apples were also the first time I made fermented apples. So we're going to turn it down and let's start mixing it. Let's see how this turns out. Usually I don't like to mix more than about 45 seconds, and that's what we did right here, because I don't want to cook these elements. Well, we got a nice, I don't know if the color comes through. It's kind of a, what, kind of a peachy, light peachy color. It might not come through that way necessarily, but it looks Really good. Let's see how this tastes. I'm very curious because it's salty and sweet, and we have a lot of healthy stuff in there with the microgreens. So this is how it look like. Let's see how it tastes. Wow, this is very interesting. I like it. It's a really good combination of the salty, the fermented, and it's not sweet at all. Maybe just like a touch of sweetness, but it's not too sweet. So I like it. I like it that way. I'm going to pour some out in a cup. I'm still recovering from surgery, so I'm like balancing here in one feet on a scooter. So forgive me. It just takes me a little time to move things around and find my balance for this pouring experiment. And I think I'm going to reuse the two big jars too I have, and I can save the rest of the smoothie in that for the next few days. So let's pour this out so you can see better. It is really beautiful and it tastes really good. I like it. As I said, I've never done any type of smoothie with fermented food before, so I'm actually really excited how it turned out. So we had two pretty full jars, one nice big cup, and just like a touch left in here that I will just add to my cup because this is also going to be my lunch right now. So let me know what you guys think, or try something at home with a little bit of fermented fruit and see what you think of that. If you put it in your smoothie, it's really good just for eating. It's really simple to make anything that's fermented. I can show you guys a few more jars. Let me flip this around for a second. And I'm going to unplug my phone and scoot over here to another area so I can show you guys some other jars. So like this is also a fermented jar of apples. I kind of cut them in this funny shape. And this is together with rowan berry salt. And I made different kinds because this was my first time. I also have a big plastic bin over here that is fermented cabbage and stuff. I have some fermented green tomatoes, but I also want to show you guys the other fermented apples that I have. So I'm going to flip this around again. And this is my big bin. I opened this last week of fermented veggies. And these are my green tomatoes and two also big jars of fermented apples. We had so many apples and Asian pears this year, which was fantastic. So I was just trying something new, how to put them away and preserve them and make something that's healthy from them. And I used these apples today for the first time to make the fermented smoothie, which I think turned out great. So thank you so much for watching. Until I see you guys next time, let me know if there's any questions. This is going to be posted later on Substack today. So if you have any comments or questions, you can also put it there, and it will be also after that posted on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for watching this experiment with me. Until I see you guys next time, Gabriella signing off. May your day be joyful, beautiful, and try some new experiments and let me know what you think. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you everybody for joining.